What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So, as I stated in my last video, I was going to be traveling yesterday, so I'm at a new location. I'll show you my view in a minute, but I want to talk a little bit about President Biden. He came out yesterday and looks like he's trying to put out some fires. So we're going to talk a little bit about the student loan situation. And I'm also going to answer some questions because some people had some questions just about random things when it comes to stimulus, as well as just random things when it comes to Colombia. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But first off, on this channel, we talk about financial news and what's going on in Washington, D.C. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so let's talk about President Biden. So the way that I look at things, and the reason that I like to tie in financial news with political news, is because when we look at a lot of these situations, nothing is by accident. And when I say that, especially when it comes to politicians, they have a team of people that are trying to get messages out and trying to find out, gauge the public and how they feel about certain things. And so it was no surprise when we heard President Biden come out and kind of tease the fact that there could be potentially a student loan cancellation. And by him teasing that, he was trying to gauge what was going on in the public opinion. And so what ended up happening is some people and some of the press went to the extreme with this. And it's actually good that they did. So they were saying, oh, he's going to cancel all student loan debt. He's going to cancel $50,000 of student loan debt. And even the video that I put out, like I told you in that video, I didn't know how much is he going to forgive because it was unclear. So one thing we know for a fact, there will be some type of student loan cancellation. Okay, so he's already put that on the table. And so we just don't know the amount. Now, yesterday he came out and made sure he let us know it's not going to be 50,000. Okay, so that's off the table. And so now we know that the president will come through with something. We just don't know how much. Okay, and I'm saying we because it doesn't even affect me because I've already paid off my student loans. And there are a lot of people out there who have already paid off their student loans or people who don't have student loans to begin with. And so you have part of the population that they don't care, or they care because they paid off their student loans. And why are you going to cancel student loans for everybody else when you didn't cancel student loans for me? So there are a lot of different factors that are at play when it comes down to this whole situation. But when we're looking at things right now, we know President Biden will make this announcement in the coming weeks, is basically what he's saying. And what the White House is saying. So they're going to build up to this and we'll see where it goes. But we know it will be less than 50,000. It might be more than 10,000. We'll just have to follow the whole story and see where it goes. I think they said something like 70% of the people, let's say if it was 10,000, that would help everyone, obviously, who has student loan debt, but you're still going to have about 70% of the people they will continue to have student loan debt because their student loan debt is more than 10,000, which is understandable. My student loan debt was 30,000 when I got out of college. And so, like I said, I paid it off, and there are a lot of people out there who paid it off. And so I have to be honest with you, I have mixed feelings when it comes to this because I worked hard to pay it off. I did it, but I'm not getting anything in return for that. But people who have student loan debt right now, there's a good, very, very strong possibility that they're going to have some of that canceled. So what I would like to see is maybe something in the future where we could have some type of, I don't even know, some type of credit that we could claim on our taxes that we paid off our student loans and how much we paid. I don't know, just something. But as of right now, it does look like President Biden will be moving forward with something, right? He's going to move forward with some type of cancellation. He's just trying to figure out the right amount, and he's trying to gauge the public to find out how they feel about this whole thing. So we'll have to follow that story and see where it goes. Now, when it comes to stimulus, I had some people, because I posted a video yesterday talking about Maine, and they have $850 per tax filer. If you guys didn't check that video out, check it out. I'll post a link at the end of this video. But they were asking about their states. Well, is Texas doing anything? Is Arizona doing anything? So as states come out, I will let you guys know, okay? And if I don't let you know about a state, then that means that that state hasn't really moved forward with anything. There's a lot of talk from different states here and there, but talk is one thing, but when they start actually moving forward legislation, that's when it's time to start talking about it. But when you have a politician that comes out and says, yeah, you know what, $2,000 would be great, a $2,000 stimulus check. If it's just one politician and there's no legislation moving forward, it's really not worth talking about, because it only gets your hopes up. And you look at a situation where we've seen this before. We saw politicians in the federal government, Congress people, saying $2,000 reoccurring payments, sending letters to the president, but no legislation was moving forward and nothing happened. So you're getting your hopes up for really no reason. And so I don't want to do that. So when it comes down to it, when we have legislation moving forward in different states, then I'll let you know. A lot of states right now have surpluses, so they can do something. They can do either a gas rebate, they can do a stimulus check, whatever they want to do, but they have that opportunity to do it. But legislation needs to move forward before I will start talking about that. Okay, now I had some people ask me about the cost of living. I keep having people ask me about the cost of living in Colombia. I don't live in Colombia. I'm out here traveling. But what I did is, and you guys let me know in this video in the comment section, and I'll show you a video of this entire Airbnb that I'm staying in. I'm paying $25 a night here, and I'll show you that if you guys want to see that in the next video. But when it comes down to it, for the most part, if you're looking at staying in a major city in Colombia, so we're talking about Medellin, we're talking about Bogota, we're talking about Cartagena, Barranquilla, where I was staying, generally, and we're talking about living. I'm not talking about actually just coming for a trip. If you're talking about living, it's generally about $300 to $400 per month. Okay, so if you're interested in that, that's about how much it costs. Now, when it comes to going to the restaurants and stuff like that, generally you're going to spend about $5 for a meal, and that's a sit-down restaurant, $5 to $6. Yesterday, I went out with a friend. I just got in to Medellin. That's where I am right now, Sabaneta. And we went out to eat. And for both of us, the meal came to, it was probably about $15. That's for two people. Okay. And we had drinks and everything. Okay. So just kind of give you an idea of how much things cost when it comes to meals and things like that. Movies are very, very, I went to the movies for the first time in Colombia, and I paid, I paid for two. So it was, and we had a VIP, like a VIP experience where you sit in the nice seats and all that stuff. And it was 40,000 Colombian pesos, which is roughly about $13, a little less than $13, right? Between $11 and $12. I'll put the exact number on the screen, but very reasonable, right? 2 tickets to the movies in the U.S. is, 1 ticket for the movies in the U.S. is $12. Or it could even be more. And we're talking VIP, a VIP experience. We're not talking about just like a regular movie theater. And I have a picture of the actual, or a video of the actual inside. So I'll show you a quick clip of that. But when it comes down to it, the cost of everything is a lot less. The only thing that you're going to pay more for are electronics. If you're buying electronics in Colombia, you're going to pay more. Okay, and that's only because in the U.S., everything goes to the U.S. We have all the latest gadgets, but in Colombia, they're a little behind when it comes to the latest gadgets. And so when they get things in, they have a limited supply, and so they charge more. And so you're going to pay at least the same price that you would pay in the U.S. or even more when it comes to electronics. All right, now I want to show you guys this view. This is Sabaneta, and this is an area of, it's going to get a little noisy because there's a lot of stuff going on downstairs, but this is a part of, well, this is a small little town outside of Medellin. I like staying here because generally it's quieter, it's local people, you don't have a lot of tourists, And so this is my view from my family room here. And you can see it goes all the way out. We're on the 9th floor here. But you see, now this is more of a city life. Before I was in a different area where it was a little more secluded. It wasn't out by the, you know, it wasn't out in the middle of everything. But you see, this is it's a nice little city out here, and that's going to be my view for, I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but that'll be my view for right now. So if you guys have any questions about anything I talked about today, make sure you comment down below. Also, let me know if you want to see this Airbnb, if you want to see me show you a little tour of the Airbnb, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll do that in a future video. That's all I have for you guys. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.